welcome to the Electrical Engineering Department Colloquium speech. This is our last speech of this year. And hopefully everybody, whoever signing up for the classes, 491 or E500, please make sure you sign the attendance sheet. Okay. So again, it's my great pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Zheng from Samsung Electronics. Dr. Zheng right now is the head of the Samsung R&D lab in Seattle. They have been doing many interesting stuff, and I'm lucky to have some chances to visit their lab. So I kind of invited them to come over and also talk about whatever they are doing, and also whatever they are trying to recruit some of our students in the department. Dr. Zheng got his PhD from Michigan State University in 2003. Since then, he has been working for so many different companies. Gosh, that's pretty amazing. Okay, he has been working for Lucent, Bell Lab, Microsoft, and also iMac, Sony Ericsson. Right now, he's in Samsung Electronics, and he also has a very impressive publication record, especially three widely used textbook related to those APP programming. So let's welcome Dr. Zheng for today's talk.
Thanks for the introduction. I'm very happy to be here to talk about some of the latest things that we're working with Samsung R&D. And I have my colleague, Will Clausen, coming to me, and he will be doing some demos with me in a few minutes. Just as the Professor Huang mentioned, we're the Samsung Mobile R&D lab here in Seattle. I run the lab. Right now, the lab has about 50 engineers and designers. We're working on so many things in the mobile space. And today, we're going to spend maybe 45 minutes to talk about the things we're working on, as well as our vision into the next big things in mobile space. And I thank you for coming, because I know this is the final week, and thanks for your time. So because we're with industry, right? So we have to be careful about anything. This is we're not going to leak any information about our product, roadmap, and all this material presentation. All this information should not be used for any legal purposes. I'm sure that everyone knows that we have some legal issues with another company. Okay, agenda-wise. Let me introduce our Samsung Mobile R&D lab in Seattle. This is really a new lab here, just established 2 years ago. We are hiring people. And then I'll talk about mobile innovations on Galaxy S4, this device, the new device that we just launched in the US a few weeks ago. And the next big things, this is mainly our vision into a few areas in the mobile space. We kind of identified a few areas that we think are critical in the next few years. We encourage faculty members, professors, as well as students to look into those areas, because that could be the next big things in the next few years. And then we have some sort of a conclusion. We never can predict the future, but we want to kind of have our idea shared with you guys. So that's the agenda. Okay, our lab. So we established in June 2011. By the time, there was a big initiative from Samsung headquarters to support US operations. The lab is mainly focused on supporting device commercialization effort for our devices for AT&T and T-Mobile. As you can guess, there are another 2 labs in the US supporting Verizon. The lab is actually in New Jersey. And there's another lab in Kansas City supporting Sprint. So we're here in Seattle, actually in Bellevue. We support AT&T and TMO effort. At any given time, Samsung has over 15 to 20 devices with AT&T and TMO. As of today, for example, we probably have all our engineers, 50 engineers, are working on this 20 to 15 devices at this moment. All sorts of things: software implementation, feature specification, requirement specification, implementation, some early incubation effort with AT&T and T-Mobile. And also, we carry a big responsibility to perform advanced R&D incubation. In that, we work with carriers, we work with US technology companies in the Bay Area, in Seattle area, and also we work with academics, right? That's one of the reasons we're here, trying to understand what are the research the faculty members are doing here and try to identify if there are any potential opportunities for us to collaborate. So one of the biggest reasons I'm here is that we are hiring people. We hire engineers. We hire a lot of engineers. I mean, mainly we don't have a hard requirement on things like you have to know Android development. You have to know Windows Phone development. No. As long as you're passionate about mobile, as long as you have some sort of idea about mobile programming, application development, or if you're really an expert in operating system, feel free to contact us. We have openings on all levels, right? You're new, you're a fresh graduate, or you're really a veteran in the mobile space. We welcome you to check out our openings and talk to us, me and Will, and to get more information about openings. Also, myself, I need to hire research managers. By research managers, I mean we need to hire. I have people who can go talk to like schools, industry companies, or carriers to build collaborations, to really drive the business development with R&D centers on carrier side or with schools. So that's those are the openings we are also hiring at this moment. So I have my email here. Feel free to send us an email if you're interested. We're happy to share with you more information about anything you want to know in terms of hiring. So that's the Samsung R&D lab in Seattle. We're just in Bellevue, close to Bellevue College. Right? So Samsung R&D investment. Samsung is really into R&D investment. A few facts I listed here. 2012, our total revenue as the Samsung Group is $247.5 billion US dollars. About 9% actually invest in R&D activities, and this include the product development as well as advanced R&D effort, right? And including the investment in US labs like my lab there. So in addition to that, Samsung plans to invest $100 million in US startups. Now, this has already been ongoing. Samsung has already identified a few startups in East Coast and the West Coast, and Samsung try to help them to create that technology and try to, of course, get some early lessons about that technology and look into potential integration effort into our product. In addition to that, we have Samsung Group created what we call Samsung Venture Fund, which is like $1 billion US dollars to help strategic investment into technologies. And a few weeks ago, there was a technology forum Samsung founded in MIT talking about Samsung Venture Fund and opportunities and the startups and also some academic projects we're funding right now. So all these are like mainly industry, a little bit academics. But the next one is mainly about academics, what we call GRO. So this is the Global Research Outreach Opportunity. Now, this is a separate amount of money. This is being done annually. So every year, Samsung will announce some requests for proposal opportunities. Each proposal, when selected, may be getting $50K or $100K US dollars as grant, and the research themes, as I listed here, include everything basically, right? Not just devices, because this is from Samsung Group as a whole, including everything that Samsung is doing. So you see big data networks, smart devices, next generation computing, storage, bio, energy, IC sensor, all this. Unfortunately, this year's deadline for proposal has already passed, but feel free to check out the link there. I put it there, and there's still a lot more opportunities to come next year. So this is GRO for the research community. Okay, now I need to do a little bit commercial on our product. This is our responsibility to do any public speech, right? How many of you have some idea about Galaxy S4? Raise your hand. Some idea about Galaxy S4. How many of you are using iPhone, by the way? Oh my God. We still have a hard, battle to fight. So, as you know, today's smartphone business market is mainly two horse race, right? It's Samsung versus Apple. We're getting close in US. In all the other market around the globe, we're beating Apple, but not in the US. And that explains, basically. So that's why I want to talk about some of the interesting things on Galaxy S4 that we just launched. I have my colleague, Will, here to show you something. But first thing is about AirView. This is a very interesting thing. This is a super sensitive touchscreen that when you're get your finger close to the screen, but not touching that, the screen will sense that, and the software will be able to show something for you. Right? So let me just show something quickly, if I can.
And you're less likely to get
Yeah, I hate this ad.
More bandwidth.
I don't know why they put this here. Yeah, check this out. So when your finger close to the screen, you're not touching that. You see that two tip there. Now we switch to another application. So the AirView will enable you to see some of the preview of that specific time point. Okay, that's one. So that's AirView. This is new. We don't see any other of our competitors are doing this. I think this actually opens up some opportunities for developers to really leverage this. Because as of today, on the desktop, if you move your mouse onto some menus, right, you will see some actions, something changed. But today, on your phone, if you move your finger on top of the screen on a specific web page, you don't see anything. Only when you touch it, you will see something. Touching is believing, right? But now this opens up some new interactions. Okay. The next thing is about advanced eye tracking. Samsung built quite a few interesting features by leveraging the eye tracking technology. I just list the three here. Smart scroll. This has been covered by the media heavily. So basically, like you're holding your phone, and the camera will actually see your eyes, right? So when you view a web page, you don't need to keep scrolling. You just tilt the device, and the web page will scroll. So this is because the computation being done on the device to track your eyes, and the accelerometer of the phone to track the tilt angles. Smart Stay, that's another very interesting feature. Actually, Smart Stay has been with Galaxy S3 last year. So you have a big screen device like my Galaxy Note 2, right? A lot of things on my Galaxy Note 2, right? So, and while you're reading, somehow the phone has been set to turn off the screen in 30 seconds, but you're still reading, right? Now, with Smart Stay, the camera will actually track your eyes. As long as it sees your eyes still looking this, it will not turn off the screen. I think this is some sort of a context-aware computing, an example of that. Smart pause is another interesting feature that we built by leveraging the similar technology. Now, when you're playing a video here, right, you see a video here, and somebody's calling you, hey Jack, you turn your head away, the video playback will pause. Now you talk to your friends, and you click here, and then you will see that the video playback will resume from that point. Small things, right? But it helps, when you're really talking about user experience. Let me show you some video here. That's the smart pause. That's the smart scroll. For single-hand operation, it's really useful. Like me, if I'm holding my daughter on the right arm, do this. Specific use case. All right. The last innovations that I want to mention about the Galaxy S4 is the camera innovations. We do build a few interesting things into the camera application. Things like a dual shot, where when you take a picture, you have the option to use the rear camera and the front camera at the same time. So you can actually combine these two images together, like what you're seeing here in this picture. This is the front, and this is the back, from the back. So you can combine this. You can move that front image around. You can make fun of that image, use it in any way you want. Eraser mode, that's an interesting feature where when you're taking a few number of consecutive pictures, and someone's walking in, try to do like photo bombing, right? And this feature will actually remove that person. So you have 5 pictures, there's one coming in. You can just say, hey, remove that person. You have a clean image. And also we have 360 spherical panorama, where you basically can like take a picture of this. You know, the navigation panel will guide you to take pictures around the 360 spherical screen, and then you can see a big picture of the 360 view of this image. So these are the things that are some of these are available on our competitors' phones, some are not. Samsung is really looking into finding all these opportunities to enrich user experience. Camera application, camera experience, browsing, email, phone call, these are the very major applications, right? So that's why we're targeting. Also, another major area I didn't put in here is the connectivity. Samsung built all-share software that will allow you to easily connect your phone with your TV. And also, we have group share, where a group of people using Samsung phones can easily share the same video, the same pictures. They can even play games as long as they have mobile hotspot set up in that surrounding area. Everyone's connecting to that mobile hotspot. So there's a lot of innovations. We're not just like Google Android manufacturer, phone manufacturer. We're building a lot of innovations into that space. And in fact, these are just examples of our innovations. We do have a lot more innovations on our devices. I didn't mention anything about tablet, but we do have a lot of tablet things going on. But due to the nature of the industry, we can't leak that information, disclose that information earlier. When you see that product, you will see, wow, that's a thing that this guy's working on. So back to the major topic. What are the next big things? There's a lot of discussions about this. Different people have different views into potential next big things in mobile space. But from 3,000 feet above, we're talking about a few major entities here. as I draw a simple diagram to show here. We have the network. We have the network. It's a cellular network. Your home Wi-Fi, all these free hotspots, right? The network. And the network, the carriers, the telecom industry is going to deliver new services in the next few years. So that's one of the things that's ongoing as a major effort from the carriers. We have the cloud, right? The cloud is not just like a storage, it's intelligence. The cloud will be more used as a way to do some analysis of your data or anonymously, or collecting other people's data anonymously and try to infer what you really want to do, what you really want to know, right? So in a sense, the cloud is a way to enable context-aware computing. A very simple example is Google Now. It's still in the early stage, but we expect that there will be more interesting applications or services that leverage the capability of the cloud to really make the phone smart. Today, the phone is mainly like a reactive device. You tell the phone to do something. You touch the phone here, you're going to do this. How about really getting the phone to be a little bit smarter, such that the phone knows what you really want to do? So the phone prepared the information for you to enjoy. So this is still some research development effort required. We also have, down there we have our devices, TV, your refrigerator, your toaster, your home, your car, all of those things, wearable computing, all those things blending together, right? So basically, when I look into the picture, we kind of identify like 5 topics here. That's the things we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Network services, number 1. Context-aware. Digital life. Variable computing. Glass, watch, anything else? Clothes, shoes, anything, right? Display technologies. Right? And Samsung is investing in all of these things at this moment. So Samsung is not just doing devices. We have network equipment companies. We're strong in display, of course, and we have looking into new industry sectors to keep us, really on top of all these new technologies. So let's take a look at the areas. So network services. LTE has been available since like fall 2011, about 2 years ago. Now the carriers are really looking into voice over LTE, what we call VoLTE. Okay. Basically, they're going to go to carry the voice communication in their LTE barrier, in addition to the circuit switching network. And by doing that, they can kind of offload the circuit switching network. They can also enable some new applications by using the technology. Now, from the carrier side, also from the OEM side, we're working hard to enable VoLTE for all the US major carriers at this moment. To do that, on our terminal side, we have to enable IMS, the IP multicast subsystem, which is a way to basically combine the carrier side's authorization, accounting, all this information together with the signaling on the LTE network. And LTE Voice is a very major offering when VoLTE is enabled, because you're gonna hear crystal clear voice communication when you do VoLTE. And of course, there's always like single radio voice call continuity, where in case LTE barrier is gone, right, you have to kind of be able to switch back to the traditional way of voice communication. So that's VoLTE. After VoLTE, video over LTE will be the next major heat. As you can guess, this is mainly the carriers' competition, try to compete with OTT over the top services like Skype. Today, carriers are not really happy being considered as a dump pipe. And the Skype or WhatsApp or Google Hangouts, all those very interesting applications are taking the spotlight, but carriers just like they don't get anything from that, right? So they have to compete. So that's why they're going to offer some new services by which when you open your phone book on your phone, you can do video chat directly. There's no Skype sign in or they want to do that directly. Of course, you have to pay like $5 a month, to lock you down there. So that's another big thing coming up. Not this year, but maybe toward the end of next year, or even 2015. LTE broadcast, the eMBS, this is a major effort from Verizon and mainly from Verizon. AT&T and Sprint are trying to do the catch-up game here. They're not there yet, but Verizon is really getting ready to launch some of the LTE broadcast services for sports event, like NFL, Super Bowl, or for a remote education where you have a professor in East Coast, right? And the Verizon provides service that they can deliver online lecture or seminar over the people in the UWEE campus, as long as you have a phone with LTE connection, and that specific content, video content, will be streamed over here in a broadcast way to the phones in this region, campus region. So that's the idea. Now, carriers are looking to kind of how to add value into this technology, right? They want to sell this to enterprise, to specific customers. Consumers, maybe you can pay $10 to get LTE broadcast of your Super Bowl event when you're in the stadium, and then you can, while you're watching the game, you can also grab your phone. You can see the playback from any angles of the things going on in the field. So this is another idea they're trying to play with. Another thing is about RCS. This is a very, very heavily used buzzword lately in the telecom industry. Rich communication suite. Now in Europe, there's already like RCS 1E or some RCS effort going on. There's actually an application called the Zheng that mainly offers some very simple RCS capabilities. But in the US, the carriers are really looking into RCS version 5, which will offer native rich messaging, presence information directly in your phone book. Now today, if you go to your phone book, you see Google status, right? This guy is available on Google, right? If you install Samsung Chat On, you will see if the contact is available in Chat On application. But the carriers want to do is they want to enable you to view if that person is actually have his mobile turned on. And directly from your phone book, you should be able to send enriched message, not just text, but maybe pictures, videos, photos, your location as well. And if you want, you can actually do a video call directly from your phone book. Now, by doing that, you don't need to use Skype. So that's the competition that they were trying to come up with against the Skype and other competitors. So RCS is going to be even further. I think it's going to be after video over LTE. But from our OEM side, we already started to work on RCS stuff. The carriers are really looking into this as a major revenue growth in the next few years. So those are mainly the services. And the last thing I put here is just 5G. I mean, we're in 4G, right? LTE is here. AT&T added LTE here just like 8 months back. And T-Mobile just added LTE coverage in Seattle a few months ago. Right? So now, in the research community, we're talking about 5G. Right? What is this? The 5th generation. Now, theoretically, you can reach throughput of 1 gigabits per second. But in reality, like what Samsung demonstrated back in Korea, we probably can do 256 megabits per second for a moving object, a walking speed, and in a distance of about 200 meters. And the frequency band is 28 gigahertz. So it will have trouble getting too far. All this barriers and blocking things that may have an impact onto the performance. This is in a very early stage, but Samsung is really investing into this as well. So these are the services side. We can keep talking about this for like another 40 minutes, but this is just give you a quick picture of what's going on, especially in US telecom industry. Context-aware, as I mentioned, Google Now is just an example, right? It data mines your information, your calendar, your email, your Google email. It tries to tell you that, hey, you're going to spend maybe 40 minutes to drive back to your home, right? Your flight from SeaTac will be like delayed for another 20 minutes, things like that. This is still early stage. However, as I mentioned, we are looking into kind of some big breakthrough in combining personal data mining from the device together with cloud intelligence, trying to really understand the context, right? What exactly do you really need from your phone, right? Today, with as any smartphone users can attest, maybe you're gonna grab your phone maybe 20, 30 times a day, take it out, try to check something, time, email, some weather information, your traffic information, whatever things. That's why people are talking like, can the phone or some other devices be smarter so they can tell you, they can inform you this information before you even think about that. So that's really a challenge. To that point, Samsung invested a company called Expect Labs in San Francisco. They're doing a very interesting technology where they have a voice recognition technology that will listen to your conversation in a voice communication and try to catch some keywords from that conversation and try to get information about those keywords and show that on your screen. So for example, if you're in a conference call, right, you're talking to your partner in another company, and then they're talking about some news or something you're not really sure about. Now this technology will actually get you that information right on your phone screen. Now Samsung is investing in that company as well. There are similar efforts from LTE Voice, another voice recognition technology that we're trying to explore at the same time. Overall, for the voice part, the phone has to leverage the voice recognition technology a little bit more to become a little more smarter. So, as we quickly can go to the digital life part, this is really exciting. Why? Because we see that the US carriers are all trying to get into this new industry sector, digital life. Well, we're talking about, there are companies doing, like AT&T, they have their UWEE IPTV solution. At the same time, in their store, they want to sell you some devices and some applications, and UWEE applications on their devices, which provide some sort of a second screen experience. While you're watching a TV program, you get some information about that TV program directly on your phone or tablet. You have direct interaction with your Facebook friends or Twitter followers about the things you're watching, and your comments or anything you want to share are directly enabled from the second screen application. Right? And Samsung has the application called Samsung Watch On, which does similar things. Watch On is actually on Galaxy S4 as well. So the second screen is just a small thing in the digital life ecosystem. Microsoft, for example, we have to get some notes here. Microsoft created a very interesting thing here called Illumi Room. This combines the Kinect sensor together with a projector to enrich the gaming experience. impressive. What is that game, by the way? Is that Doom or Total Commando? What is that? I don't know.
There was something.
Not a gamer.
One of those was definitely Halo.
Halo, okay, I think. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not a gamer. But this guy's really into the game, right? You can see that. So yeah, that's interesting. The projector actually provides a different, an enriched view of the gaming experience. And I don't know how practical this is, but at least this shows that you're not when you're playing games, you're not just restricted by the TV screen, right? There's a lot more to be added into the overall gaming experience. Another area that we're looking into is with carriers is connected car. Today, even the high-end cars, the cars that with some a big screen here and show some information about navigation, weather, all these things, and also you can connect your phone to the cars. This is still in the early stage, absolutely. Verizon and AT&T are working with major automakers to try to sell cars that has 4G connections right out of the box from the car. So we're talking about you buy a car and the car has internet connection all the time. So with that, infotainment systems, they create work of infotainment systems in the car can be always connected. So you can always buy music or get videos playback in your infotainment system in the car. And speaking of car-to-car communication, there could be things like the cars are smart enough to pass information about accident or traffic information one by one, so you know what's ahead of you. The company called UWEE is doing a similar way of peer-to-peer traffic information, but this still there could be more functionalities added into our cars later on. The car today is really not connected. Making it connected and adding more user experience enablers into the car, that's the next big thing for the automakers together with the carriers. Again, you have to kind of pay for that service. So connected car, that's another major areas that Samsung also carriers are looking into. Speaking of digital life, another major topic we want to mention here is digital home. It's mainly about home automation. Now today, I think most of our US homes are not really smart, right? Yeah, granted, you can have some interesting applications on your phone or on the PC side. You can set temperatures of specific heating system in your home, but this is really not in mass production yet. And this is just one single example. How about having the home fully connected, fully controlled, remotely monitored? All the things are connected together with the entertainment experience in your home. Right? In this direction, Verizon and AT&T are going a little different ways. On the service side, from Verizon side, they're looking into kind of, hey, how about selling some telemedicine capabilities? Right? Leveraging a universal ID for your family members and adding mobility into the big picture here, leveraging the big data that the carrier has over your family members, and then try to create home service for all your devices in your home, regardless of phones, tablets, TV, refrigerator, toaster, heating system, cooler, all these things. And AT&T is mainly on providing services on monitoring, remote access, effortless control, smart security. Actually, AT&T just launched, I think in 8 markets, they launched the digital life package, where you pay maybe $60, $70 a month, and they have a full package of services for your home. And I'll show a video of that.
Stay connected to your home even on the go with the latest in automated home security. Use your phone or tablet to access your home from just about anywhere, at any time, providing the ultimate peace of mind. The service is tailored to you and your life. You can customize different views based on what matters most to you. With Digital Life, your home is professionally monitored, so you can rest assured knowing your home and family are protected at all times. If something happens at home, you'll be notified right away, along with the appropriate authorities. With Digital Life, you can easily manage devices in your home, even when you're away. And customizable programs give you full control, so the devices in your home can work around your schedule. Finally, your home and your life work seamlessly together. AT&T Digital Life. Be at home wherever life takes you. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Digital Life is not available in the Seattle market yet. They're available in Houston, Texas, some Austin, Dallas, all these areas. But as you see, this is, we don't expect carriers like AT&T are providing this kind of services, but they do. They have huge strategic investment into these kind of areas. And that's the direction they're going to sell more services. And as an OEM, as a phone maker, Samsung, we collaborate with AT&T to enable this big vision for smart home. Right? Smartphone is, today pretty much everyone has a smartphone, right? How about in 5-10 years, all the US houses, right, will be smart. In that you pay maybe some bucks a month to enable the smartness in your home, right, by having all these capabilities. Today you may think this is too far away from me. It's not useful. It's not really useful. But back to 10 years ago, how many of us really think smartphones are really that useful? Today you can't even live without smartphone. So that's digital home and digital life, a new frontier that the industry is going at this moment. And number 4 here, wearable computing, I have to mention Google Glass here. Everyone knows what it is, and everyone sees someone wearing a Google Glass. Maybe not in the Seattle area, but there are many guys wearing this in the Bay Area. Spec here, so it's an OMAP 4430 processor, 1 gigabit RAM, 16 gig flash, a few sensors, camera, 720p video capability. It runs on Android, and the display. Display is the equivalent of a 25-inch screen from 8 feet away. It's actually here, somewhere here. So speaking of applications, the Google Glass applications are being called glassware applications, like this here. Your application is actually a timeline cards. So there's just like a series of cards being shown up here. So when you want to, you have the option to tap on the side of the Google Glass, and it will launch that card. And you can see a little more details about that specific card here. This is a totally new thing, right? The applications are still being worked on by the developer community. But the point we want to make here is that this opens up a new direction for variable computing. Because glass, maybe someone will say, I don't feel like wearing this kind of things. But if you try that and you get used to that, you would love to see this. Because this is so natural. This is so convenient. You just say, I want to take a picture taken. I want to send a text message. To whom? Message sent. Very, very natural. Well, granted, there are different views on the glass computing. So other companies have different views, right? Around the wrist, there are Tim Cook from Apple, just last week at the D11 conference, he has some interesting comment on Google Glass. So basically he said there's nothing that's going to convince a kid who has never worn glasses or a band or watch to wear one, or at least I haven't seen it. And then he quickly added, but I think the wrist is interesting. The wrist is natural. Probably because he has one here. So it could be very natural for people to have some sort of band or watch around your wrist. And as long as this can help you to do things better. Now, as of today, the band or the things around the wrist is mainly about biometric devices from companies like Fitbit, this one, and Nike Fuel Band, this one. It's just a bunch of accelerometers trying to track your motion and get those data and try to compare that data with their cloud data collected from many anonymous users and trying to infer that how many calories you burned, right? And your activities by using those accelerometer data. Useful for specific purposes, right? But not in a very general, broad domain yet. However, with watch, smart watch, things can be totally different because the watch will have a display. It could be bendable display around your wrist, and the watch can be always connected to your smartphone in your pocket, and the watch can have all those crazy sensors to sense all the things going on, biometric sensors, and also the watch can basically have a lot of interesting interactions with your phone, with your other computing devices, in terms of location, in terms of some context-aware intelligence. Now, major companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, Samsung, LG are all rumored to work on a smartwatch at this moment. So I will not be surprised that maybe sometime next year or in 2 years, there's just like so many watches. And there's like commercials going on trying to sell you a smartwatch. It could happen. Because the smartphone industry now is at a tipping point where we know this is important. Pretty much everyone already has one, right? And what will be the next big thing? This could be one. Okay. So I used the word rumor, right? I didn't confirm that we're working on this. Yeah, that's Samsung effort I have to mention here about wearable computing is Samsung collaborated with Professor Ruzbek Jafari from University of Texas, Dallas. It's an EEG-based technology. So you have this EEG things here. And the software can use the EEG signals to transform some specific sensing data into action. For example, if you stare at an object for like 5 seconds, the software can recognize that, and the software can take that as like a press and hold of that object or tapping on that object. So according to the publication, the accuracy of this technology is around 80 to 90%. As to how far this will be used later on for commercialization, not sure yet. There are other things using EEG to kind of control a helicopter, toy helicopter, right? You can just like you wear this thing and then think something, and the helicopter will just go lift up. Maybe for fun, but this shows that the potential of the technology. So, what do you think about smart hat? Is that natural or not? Who knows? Okay, lastly, we have to talk about display technologies. Displays is so important because this is the major thing that you're looking into. Right? Now, from Samsung, we have the bendable display already demonstrated in the CES early this year, as the picture shows. We showed this running a Windows phone because the demo was actually being done by a Microsoft executive. So this is flexible. So some people say this is unbreakable. So you're not going to break this because there's no glass there. Well, there's no traditional glass there, so you're not going to break this. However, mass production of this screen is still a challenge. So that's why still there's no, this is not on our product yet. Nokia has an interesting prototype similar to what Samsung's doing. Basically, they combine some of the actions on your phone screen, the bendable screen. So you twist, you bend, and they use the phone use that as a way to navigate the user interface on the phone, right? So basically, the bendable screen is not just like it is bendable, so you can bend, you can twist. Also, it allows some new HCI capabilities from the phone by the things that the operation you're doing with the bendable screen. So apart from that, how about flexible, rollable e-ink display? Your e-book reader, Kindle. How about just like roll it up, put it in your pocket, and when you're ready to read, just get it out, roll it out, and you can read. Well, not there yet. The company, there's a company who has been betting a lot into rollable e-ink display, just went out of business. It seems like people are very comfortable with the e-ink display as of today on the e-book readers. Rollable display maybe still like a few years, research and commercialization effort to be done. In the domain of smart display, we also have a very interesting product called Smart Window, Samsung Smart Window. This actually won the 2012 CES Innovation Award. And this is true transparent touchscreen LCD. So sunlight actually can go in, and we have the virtual blind to do this, but it's actually a LCD screen. Take a look at this.
Favorite thing of the show. This is the Samsung transparent smart window. So it looks like a normal screen, but I can actually do things like make this blinds. So I can close the blinds. I can actually see through to the little town outside. If I want to hit widget, I can check out Twitter. I can check the forecast for Vegas. This is so freaking cool. This is future technology right here. It's a one-sided pane, which means people can't walk by your kitchen window and see what you're looking at, so you don't have to worry about that. I know that it's going into the coming months, mass production in the coming months, so we're going to start seeing stuff like this ASAP, and I'm pretty excited about it because, well, quite frankly, I feel like I'm in Minority Report, and that's really awesome.
But this comes with a big price, $8,000 or something. And not for, it's not, I mean, Samsung may drive down the cost in the next few years, but so far it's mainly for like demonstration purposes. But this shows that your window, like in your home, you could have a big display to do a lot of things, right? And today, you stare at your computer, you look into your phone, your tablet. But how about your surrounding area? Your windows, right? Okay. So that's in the display technology category, and with that, we pretty much talk about the 5 areas we're looking into, and also our vision into the next big things in mobile space for smart devices. We're not just talking about the devices; we actually talk about the overall user experience. As we envision this, better user experience is the key to make a product or service successful. Anything you want to sell to consumers, to enterprise, for B2B, for whatever reasons, you have to think about user experience. And with that, You have to try all the technologies, try to come up with the best approach to enable better experience, enrich user experience. From a mobile phone OEM's perspective, we make stuff, right? And all the technologies will end up in an environment where people will have to interact with something to really enjoy that. Samsung is in the position to make that thing. So we expect exciting things to come in a few years. There could be very disruptive technologies and product coming in the next few years. So if you're really into mobile, really interested in working on mobile stuff, talk to us. I mean, Samsung R&D is actually a very good place to explore all these technologies, working with industry and academia. So that's basically wrap up my presentation. Any questions?
What is the worldwide revenue for Samsung?
What is the worldwide revenue for Samsung? So Samsung is a huge group, right? We have like insurance even, making ships, hotels. So overall, 2012, overall revenue is $247 billion. And majority of that coming from this. Majority from this. So the mobile business is really the cash cow for us. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Do you guys do any hardware engineering in your lab?
We do a little bit. Our main theme is on software side, but we do have hardware engineers on site to support the hardware effort for AT&T and T. So if you're interested, just talk to us. Any other questions?
Okay, if no more questions, let's thank Dr. Zheng again. And if you are interested in seeing the S4, Will is here. He can show you several new functions of